Kia ora, good morning, welcome to our Mother's Day special. I'm Lena T and it's my pleasure to bring you Close to My Heart on Radio Southland 96.4 FM. Over the next 2 hours on the show, our line-up's going to include our quote of the week, out and about business reviews. My topic for the week, well, it's all about mums and who we are and what we do. Well, we do the best job there is, don't we? Now, when we become mothers, no one hands us a manual telling us how to be a good mother. It's all about trial and error and being the best we can, sharing our love with our children, teaching them life skills, morals and good values, the difference between right and wrong, protecting them from life's dangers and harms, and we hope that our children grow into well-rounded, upstanding, loving and honest adults. Sometimes this happens and sometimes not, but it doesn't mean we failed as mothers. Not everything in life turns out how we planned. I've personally worried sometimes that when I'm busy doing things that take up a lot of my time, my children might feel left out or that I'm not doing enough. This was especially so last year when I was really busy organising an event I was also hosting for charity. For 3 months, long hours of my days and evenings would be taken up with the event. One morning, I woke to find something my youngest son had written for me, and I realised that the things I had taught my children had impacted on their lives much more than I ever could have known. And as I read the words, I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes and a lump in my throat. And I'm going to read this to you this morning. He posted it on Facebook for me, so everybody got to read it, but I am going to read it for the listeners again, and please forgive me if I well up and cry, because it's quite special. I knew then when I read that it didn't matter how I'd taken this time away from them or the things that I couldn't give them, because they knew that to be a good mum, I had to be me, and that being me, I'd already given them all the things they needed to be great kids. And so I think I succeeded.
I don't see a tear yet.
She's holding the... you're just busting for me to cry, aren't you? Anyway, he wrote me this, and it said, as I watched my mother sleeping. It was 2 a.m. and I passed through the lounge on my way to the kitchen for a drink when I spied my mother sleeping on the couch. Oh, that's a bad habit. Her coffee cup still in hand, and I knew she had taken a well-earned break from her charity fundraiser, and it would have been quite by accident and sheer tiredness that she had fallen asleep. So I stopped for a while and watched her as she slept, and my mind filled with all the things that make her so special. I looked at her faded jeans with the hole in the bum that she's worn for years, and her runners tatty and old, and I thought about all the things she's gone without to make sure that I never went without. And as I looked at her eyes so tightly closed, I remembered all the times she looked at me through my life with her hazel eyes full of love, and the lines on her face that reminded me of the smiles that she's always had for me and my brothers and anyone else that she happens to pass by, the wrinkled brow that reminds me of all the times she has worried about how she would pay the bills and cope with all the things on her busy plate, juggling work, meals, keeping our house really clean. Our school, rugby, athletics, study, meetings, always working around her things to be there for me every day before and after school, and all the hours she has dedicated to us all and a million others too. I noticed as she twitches, and I know it's because some part of her body is in pain because she's sick, but she will never let anyone see or think that she is weak, because no matter what, she is strong. And I think of all the hours she has nursed us all when we've been sick, and sat with us all through the night. Excuse me, getting a bit emotional here. Never leaving us alone, and even when she was ill herself or would be tired from a long day at work, I could always rely on her to be there. As I looked at her tired body laying there, her arms curled up, reminded me of all the times she's hugged me in my 12 years of life. Millions of cuddles, each one just as special as the next, and in the quietness of the room in my mind I hear the words "I love you" that she always remembers to say every day. Gently, so as not to wake her, I pulled a rug over her body to keep her warm, and I think of all the nights, none ever missed, that she tucked me in, sat with me, prayed and said good night, God bless, before turning out the light. My mother, you inspire me. You have helped me to be all that I am. A great student, a good rugby player, and a sportsman. Always reminding me to be well-mannered, kind. You have taught me the value of giving to others, and that being rich is not the most important thing in life. That no matter how little we have, it's always enough. And no matter how little there is left to give, there is always a way to give more. And our richest blessings in life come from the joy in helping others. As I turn to walk away, I wonder how I can ever repay you for all you have given. And I remember the $1 I have saved for my sweets. I creep to my room and I grab it, and upon returning to your side, I carefully place it in your hand, wishing it was 1,000,000 more. And I whisper, here's my $1 for your cause. I kiss your brow and whisper good night. I love you, and in the stillness of the night, I make you a promise in my heart that one day I will take you somewhere special, to a nice place where you can rest in the sun on the beach, have fun, and not have to worry about the cost. And my mother so special, when you are old or sick, I will be here to care for you, just like you have for me, my brothers, and all the others for all these years, for you are the best mother in the world, and I love you very much. And right about now, I've got to say to my awesome sons, I love you all very much, and I'm so, so proud to be your mother, and I'm truly blessed. And to all the mums out there, it goes to prove that children learn by what they live, and that a mother's love is the most important thing we can ever give our children. I'm Lena T, and you're listening to our Mother's Day special on Close to My Heart, Radio Southern 96.4 FM.